Hi friends, welcome back to my simple kitchen. Today I'm making a cake which is a favorite of my kids and all the neighborhood kids. I've been asked to make this cake for birthdays, not just for my son Michael, but for their best friends, Amanda, Amy, Luca. It's called SheeShee's Sugar Cake. SheeShee, I think I've told you all before, is my sister Sherry. She brought it to a function, probably a family function, probably 15 years ago. And ever since then, I think I made it my own. I don't think she's made it since, but I've made it a million times over. And so whenever I want to do something special for anyone, this is what I do. I make SheeShee's Sugar Cake, and it's really simple. It's all about the icing. Now, earlier today, I made this as a 3-layer cake. You can make it as a 2-layer cake. I've made it as cupcakes, but everybody seems to like it the original way, which is my 3-layer cake. Earlier today, I've got my 3 layers cooling. I make the cake out of a box. It's a Swiss cake mix. Now I've made it with, when I couldn't find the Swiss cake mix, I've made it from the milk chocolate cake mix. I've made it with the German chocolate cake mix, and it's really just as good. I just stick with the Swiss chocolate cake mix because that's what the original recipe called for. But like I said, it's about the icing. It's all about the icing. Even like Michael and Luca, I don't know what's wrong with them. They don't like icing. And I could have an entire plate of icing. Like, no cake. Seriously, I could just eat a whole plate of icing. But Michael and Luca like this icing, so that should tell you something. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mixing up my icing. And earlier today, I took out the Cool Whip. Now, it calls for 12 ounces, but my husband brought home 6. Now, he does a lot of my shopping for me. I know I've said it before. He brings home the wrong things a lot. But I'm just thankful that he does a lot of grocery shopping for me. So, I know, I'm lucky, girls. So anyway, he brought home a 12 ounce, but it calls for an 8-ounce tub of Cool Whip. So, I will be using 3/4 of this. And 8 ounces of cream cheese. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to throw that in my mixer. Wait until you see what else goes in this. You're going to die. Here's my little paddle. This has been out most of the morning, just getting soft in preparation for this. Now, I haven't done anything in a while online, probably in a week almost, because I had a surprise on Friday evening. Everybody was in their beds fast asleep because over the Labor Day weekend, my husband and my son Michael and his friend Matthew were all going to go fishing Saturday all day. They were getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go fishing, so they went to bed early Friday night. So I don't like to be up alone at night. So I usually go to bed and I lay in bed and watch TV while my husband's sleeping. And I know I'm weird like that. But so the house was locked up tight. The dogs were in my room. You know, the German Shepherd was in the corner sleeping by my husband, and you know the little Maltese was on the bed with me, sleeping right next to me. And literally, the door, my bedroom door, flew open, slamming up against the wall, and I hear, "I'm home!" And it was my oldest son, John, who, you know, as you all know, went away to college in August, and I have missed him immensely. And it took me a few seconds to like compute, for my mind to compute what was going on, that my son was standing right, it was 10 o'clock at night, and my son was standing right there, and so that's why I haven't been online. I have been enjoying the company of my son, my oldest son, who came home for the first time in almost a month. So anyway, so I've started with my 8 ounces of cream cheese, my 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, my 8 ounces of Cool Whip, and now I'm going to add a full cup of powdered sugar. It's a super, super fine sugar. And I'm also going to add a half a cup of regular sugar. Half a cup. All right. Now, I'm going to mix that up just until it's all mixed in and creamy. And the next thing I'm going to do, now this is what really, really makes the frosting or icing, whatever you want to call it, special. It calls for a big pumpkin 7-ounce chocolate bar. Now the store, my grocery store was out of the 7-ounce bars, so I got 2 of the big 4-ounce bars. So I'll just leave a little bit out, or I might just do it all and just have a little bit of extra chocolate in it. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is throw that in my, I will throw the chocolate bars in my food processor and grate those up and throw that in my frosting. And then I will just kind of stir that easily into I'll stir that easily into this frosting, and that's it. That's pretty much it. All done. Not quite all done. I had a couple of big chunks in there. You don't want the big chunks in there. You want mostly smaller chunks. It's okay to have a couple of smaller chunks in there, but you really want mostly finer pieces to be in there. See, I don't know if you can see my little fine chunks in there. Let me see if I can push this down. There we go. You see, they're mostly finer chunks in there. A couple of bigger chunks, but mostly fine. So I am going to pour all that in. And then I'm going to give it a quick stir again, so it's all nice and mixed. And that's pretty much my icing for this cake. Now I will have to put out an APB on, I'll have to put out an APB out on the neighborhood to let them all know that I made this cake today. I was thinking I probably should have waited until tomorrow, because tomorrow is the first game, season opener game for football. But I didn't think about that. I didn't think I'll have to think of something else to make for the first football game tomorrow. But today we eat cake. So the first thing I'm going to do to frost my cake, I don't know if any of you do this, but to keep the cake from sliding around on my little thing is I put a little bit of frosting at the very bottom. And then I put my first layer. Just like that. That way that'll keep it from sliding around. And then the next thing to do is I'll get my offset spatula, and really nothing extra special. I'm just going to put a little bit in between each layer, and then I'll frost the tops and the sides. It spreads really nice and easy. And then I'll store it in the refrigerator since it has the Cool Whip and the cream cheese in it. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't last long because the kids devour it. They eat it for breakfast. They eat it for dessert. They eat it for snacks. It's usually 2 days max. If it's for birthday, it doesn't make it beyond the birthday party. So there's that. Alright, so I've got my first layer. Try to make it as even as possible. Now, I don't try to get all fancy schmancy, and you know, some people try to cut the tops off of their cakes and make them all nice and flat, but I don't do that because I usually mess it up even more. I have tried, I'm going to be honest, I have tried it in the past where I've taken a knife and tried to cut off the top, and I've actually made it worse, and then I end up with even smaller layers. What can I say? I am kind of spastic that way, but I tried. So anyway, I just heard my phone go off, if any of you heard that. I just got a text. I'm sure it was probably my son that's in college. We run a fantasy football. My son runs the fantasy football league, and I'm in it with a bunch of men. And my little Amanda, who's across the street, we are the only girls in the league. But anyway, since the season starts tomorrow, there's a flurry of pickups and drops and pickups and trades, if any of you know any of that talk going on. But all of that's happening right now since the season starts tomorrow. And people, all the players who've been injured or dropped, or so anyway, so there's my three. It's, you know, really, I don't go out of my way to make it, you know, not that I don't make it extra special. I mean, it is extra special just because it's made with love. It's made with, it really is, it's made with love. It's made, I love to bake, so therefore it is made with love. I don't want to be snarky, but this is, it tastes like you spent a lot more time than you did with it. I promise you that. People are going to think, they're going to cut open into this 3-layer cake and think, oh my gosh, you spent a long, what did you do? And you're just going to smile and say, oh, it was nothing. And when it really wasn't. I mean, not that it was nothing, because whenever you do something for somebody and you put your heart into it, it is something. But you didn't have to slave in the kitchen. You just had to buy the ingredients and spend the time, take the time and energy to actually do it. So this is it. This is it. And when Michael will get home and see it. He's going to come home from soccer practice, and he's going to be exhausted and tired and stinky and hungry, but he'll be excited to see this because it's probably his, well, not probably, it is his favorite cake in the whole world. So, and then I'll send some next door and across the and down the street because I know they love it so much too. So I hope you guys really try this. I mean, I know I say that about everything, and I do mean it about everything. I hope you try it all because, you know, I enjoy making others happy. What mother doesn't, what baker or cook doesn't, and I enjoy when you find something that you can do in the kitchen that allows you to spend more time with the people you love and still allows you to give them something that is delicious. And you've got your inside that's chocolatey, and then you've got the tangy cream cheese and the sweetness of the sugars and the creaminess of the Cool Whip and the more chocolate from the chocolate bar in there. And when I say it is good, I promise you it is good. It's delicious. This is one of the best cakes I've ever eaten in my life. And you can look at me and tell I've eaten a lot of cake in my life. So, good luck. And I hope to see y'all soon. Bye, guys.